How to deal with stress. Hey guys, today I'll be giving you some tips and advice on how to deal with and how to manage stress. So, tip number one is to be present in the moment and recognize the stress. So, you want to know that you're human. We're human. We're meant to feel emotions. And in being a human, like we're meant to feel joy. We're meant to feel happy. We're meant to feel grateful. We're meant to feel at ease, at peace, um, gratitude. I don't know if I mentioned that one yet. And at the opposite side of the spectrum, we're also meant to feel emotions of sadness, grief, despair. So that's the human experience. So when we embrace that, um, in the sense of like being stressed, like we want to recognize that we're stressed in that moment. So that first tip is be present in the moment and recognize the stress. So recognize the stress and that you don't have to feel that way. We consciously choose the way we feel, unconsciously too. Life goes on and it's not the end of the world. So another key point is to allow yourself to feel that emotion of being stressed. Recognize that it's okay, knowing that it'll pass. And another key point is not to force that, like allow it to pass. Because when what you resist persists. So let's say I'm feeling stressed out about something and I find myself like, oh, I'm stressed out right now. Like I'm actually stressed out right now. And it's hard to get to that awareness sometimes, but like I said, you just have to be present in the moment. So by being present in the moment, sometimes it takes like a deep breath or something. And then you just recognize it like, oh, I'm stressed out right now. And then when you see that red flag, this is where you can pivot. You can remember to allow yourself to feel this emotion and knowing that it's gonna pass. And don't force it. Let it be. Just feel stressed. Okay, another tip is to take a breather. Go take a break. There's a reason why for at work, for example, we're allotted like 15-minute breaks, 30-minute breaks, hour breaks. Go take your break. And when you do take your break, go do something that makes you feel good. One thing that I like to do, I like to meditate. I recommend everybody meditates. Learn how to meditate. That's another topic. Another way you can make yourself feel good, think happy thoughts. Listen to music. So go do something that makes you feel good. So another point or another tip, tip number 3, find positivity in the moment. So one way to do this is to practice gratitude. Find something to be grateful about in that moment. Even if it's off topic. One thing I used to do, like if I was in a stressful time, I would just think like, oh, you know what? At least I'm healthy, you know? And I mean, it could be off topic, but like I'll be doing something, it's like totally not like related to my health, but like I'll just think like, oh, I got my 2 hands, my 2 feet, you know, and at least or I'll think like at least I'm not in this situation. I've been through worse situations, you know, this and that. So yeah, there's ways to find gratitude. One way of another thought pattern you can make use of is the like some way somehow this is in contribution to my growth. Like stress is a pivotal point. It's an opportunity for growth. Um, and some way, somehow, this is for the greater good. That's another example of pivoting. So yeah, practice gratitude. Just be thankful. Like, let's say it's something that's stressful at work. You can be like, oh well, at least I'm getting paid for this. This is what I'm getting paid the big bucks for. And I'm doing something for someone. So that's one example of gratitude. And then tip number 4 is to release from old ways of thinking. And I wrote down here, you are not your thoughts. The reason why I say you are not your thoughts is that we often think that we are our thoughts. Well, we are our thoughts in the sense that we are our thoughts that we consistently think of. But a lot of times, see, thoughts, you aren't your thoughts. We transcend our thoughts. So let's say, for example, I suck at this. I shouldn't be doing this right now, kind of thing. Like, well, you're the one. Like, you're the one, like, believing that. Like, you don't have to believe that thought. Like, you can transcend that. So we often allow ourselves to get caught up in old thought patterns that lead to stress. So, for example, unnecessary irrational fears, doubts, and shame. So, a lot of times our fears, our fears are like, it's just like irrational. Like, oh, he might think of me this way, or like it's irrational. You put yourself in that spot, in that place. Like, you are not that. Like, you're not your thoughts, and you can consciously choose what thoughts you resonate with. And old ways of thinking, your old thought patterns, can lead to self-sabotage oftentimes. And just remember, we assign meaning to things. Nothing has meaning by default. We assign meaning to things, whether it's conscious or unconscious. So number 5 tip is to stop taking things so seriously. Learn to have some fun. Have a sense of humor. Learn how to laugh. Learn how to laugh at yourself. Poke fun at things. Life's not meant to be taken so seriously in general. And oftentimes when we take things so seriously, too seriously, we just allow ourselves to get stressed out. And you just have to sometimes take a step back and have some fun. And the last tip that I have here is, for tip number 6, is to learn how to love yourself unconditionally. So don't be so hard on yourself. Remember that you're always trying your best, given whatever circumstance you're in, whether you believe it or not. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around that, because sometimes it's like, okay, I didn't try. I really didn't try this time. Or like, but you did try. You tried, given the circumstance. Like, and you know what? You can deny it that you didn't really try your best. But just know, just going back to the whole, like, I'm human, like, we're not perfect, dude. Sometimes we don't try. But most of the times, you tried your best. And just give yourself that, and don't be so hard on yourself, because if you're hard on yourself, you're just going to exacerbate the stress. And then the other part of that is to, on the note of loving yourself unconditionally, that goes with eating well, sleeping well, getting some exercise, and do things for you, and take good care of yourself. So, like, buy things for yourself, treat yourself out. So yeah, just to wrap up and to recap, the first tip was to be present in the moment and recognize the stress. Just be mindful of the way you're feeling. Just bring yourself to awareness that you are feeling emotions right now, and emotion, you're also not your emotions. You transcend your emotions, and both your thoughts and your emotions. And you are human. We're meant to feel all these emotions, and there's always a polarity to the emotions of sadness, grief, despair. The polarity to that is joy, peace, thankfulness, gratitude. So yeah, that whole spectrum of emotions, that's the human experience, and you just have to learn how to embrace that over time. Okay, tip number 2 was to take a breather, take a break, go do things that make you feel good, go meditate, listen to music. Tip number 3 is to find positive things in the moment, practice gratitude. Tip number 4 was to release from old ways of thinking. Remember that you are not your thoughts, that you transcend your thoughts, and that we assign meaning to things, that nothing has meaning by default, that we consciously or unconsciously assign meaning to things. Number 5 is to stop taking things so seriously. Learn how to laugh, have a sense of humor. And number 6, learn how to love yourself unconditionally. So if you guys found this video helpful, which I hope I helped someone out there, please feel free to like this video and subscribe. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks.